Well, if you have a child with ADHD, you know how important medication can be.
Yeah, in this week's Therapy Thursday, we're learning more about an Adderall shortage from one Kansas City University professor, Dr. Amy Sickel. Dr. Sickel, tell us a little bit about some of the symptoms from ADHD.
Yeah, so with ADHD, there's two different types, either inattentive or hyperactivity, or some individuals can have both. And one way that I like to look at it is that we have a light switch in our brain, and for kiddos with ADHD, it's like it's turned off and they're functioning in the dark. And in the dark, it's hard to plan and organize, and you're easily distracted. But with medication, or when something's really interesting, that light switch gets turned back on.
Oh, interesting.
And something I asked you off camera, but I think it's important, how do you diagnose as a child and as an adult?
Yeah, so with a child, you can get diagnosed by teacher and parent report. So they have these handouts that teachers can mark frequency of different behaviors. As an adult, since you're not in that school setting, psychological testing is often referred because symptoms have to have been present before the age of 12. It's not something that you develop later in life.
Okay. Are there some other symptoms that can overlap with ADHD, regular symptoms?
There are. Difficulty focusing and being distracted can be part of depression. It can also be part of anxiety, or if you've gone through a trauma. So it's important to rule out those diagnoses, but also know that sometimes you can have both. So if I'm really struggling in school and I can't learn, and it's hard for me to make friends, then I might also develop depression or anxiety.
Can you tell us why we're seeing a shortage in the medication right now?
As with many things, manufacturing delays are happening, and then also a supply shortage. But it's important to know that the shortage is specific to the immediate release tablets in Adderall, but the extended release tablets, those are still available without the shortage.
Can you help us understand what Adderall is and how it can help someone who may have those types of symptoms?
Yeah, so it's a stimulant medication, so that's where it stimulates, turns on that part of the brain.
Turns the light on, as you would say, right?
It does, and that's where sometimes parents get really confused because they see those kiddos focusing really well on a video game, but it's what they like, and so that's why it naturally turns on. And that stimulant medication is turning it on, but with hyperactivity, they're moving around a lot, so that's also where people get confused. Why do they need a stimulant if they're being really hyperactive? Right. But it's because they have difficulty controlling, and that part of the brain isn't working as it does compared to their counterparts.
All right. Thanks for that.
That's awesome. Now, what should parents or teachers do to help a child that's recently diagnosed?
So behavioral parenting strategies are key. The other piece is helping your kiddo know it's not that there's something wrong with me. So if you tell a kiddo, let's control your Zoom, or let's turn on your focus, it's helping a kid do something instead of, will you sit down, will you stop doing that? Because otherwise, stopping something is really hard for an active kid, but telling them, I need you to put a bubble in your mouth, gives me something active to do, and it keeps me quiet at the same time when I'm not supposed to be talking.
I can see how that would be a better approach, for sure.
But
absolutely.
It's not natural. It's easier to say don't do and stop.
All right.
Okay.
Dr. Amy Sickel, it's great to see you. Thank you so much, and thanks for the explanations and helping us better understand ADHD. Thank you.
Yep, always a pleasure.
Great to see you again.